Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw. How's it? We are going to be drawing Linus from the Peanuts movie, the Peanuts comic strip, everything. You know, from Charlie Brown, Snoopy, all that stuff. This is kind of a series of these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a Sharpie, just a Sharpie. It has to have a point on it though. That's the main kind of thing you need. And I'm going to be using like maybe 2 colored pencils, maybe 3 because I actually forgot the brown. The colored pencils are really just for added effect. You know, it's going to be a very flat drawing, so it's not going to be too crazy. And I'm going to bring in like a brown of some kind that I'll test out as we bring it in. So for now, what I want you to do is I'm going to be using this for an underlay. Just pick any of the colored pencils. I'm going to use it for the underlay because for this particular pose, this is a very, very typical drawing, and it's a drawing that you always see in the series. I'm going to be drawing Linus kind of sucking his thumb and holding his blanket, because his blanket was like his thing. That was his character. But I do want to go over the basic shapes of this pose because this isn't as simple as the Charlie Brown or Snoopy pose. So I'm going to be going over an underlay. I start, and I'm going to go over this to kind of show you. I'm going to go very dark. Just a circle for Linus's head, and I'm going to throw like an oval there for his, and it's going to be overlapping that circle because his fingers, are going to be at the end of that. He's essentially going to be sucking his thumb. And there's another, that's his forearm, that represents his forearm. Another oval on the other side represents him holding his blanket. The little fingers there, they're just like little sausages. I'm going to throw a shape across that circle, which is across his face, and that is the blanket. I was a huge, huge fan of Snoopy as a child, and I still can watch these things, which is strange. They're still very enjoyable, and I don't know if that's nostalgia, it probably is, but I love Peanuts as a cartoon. Pull that down, you see his torso on one side. His torso goes down only yay far. I'm gonna throw the stripes on his shirt, just so they can be there. Another egg form, which is his shoes sticking up into the camera as he's sitting down. Same thing for the other side as well. Make them roughly the same size. And then this pulls in for his legs there. His legs kind of pulling in. Kind of imagine him again sitting down. The blanket's going to cover the rest of his torso, and that's essentially just a lot of bunched up stuff over here. And that can be anything. Just imagine a blanket bunched up on the ground, more like a cloud, I would say. And that could be random. I essentially made that pretty random. In terms of his head, it has kind of a lumpy kind of shape to it, almost like a Kool-Aid jar or something. It's kind of flat toward the top, round over here if we were to simplify that shape. His nose, like most of these characters, is between his eyes. His eyes are very, very close together. Oops. I'm just putting those as placeholders there. The more I can see this and envision it, the better. I might actually move his entire nose downward. See, this is all why I'm doing it in this phase. Ooh, I would erase those, but I'm not going to see them once I throw the paper over it. I'm just not going to throw them in. This stage is to work out proportional errors, so you don't make them in marker, and then it'll be really hard. So I think this is enough to work off of. You just need enough to kind of envision it in your mind. Then I'm going to grab this paper, slide it underneath the other paper, and like I always say this is typical, typical paper. Very typical paper. It's computer paper. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's not tracing paper, but you can see vaguely through it. That's why I did it so dark. So anyways, I'm going to draw the first thing. First thing I'm going to draw is actually going to be his hands because they're the furthest thing to... Start with his fingers. There's such a little sausages, little finger. forearm. That's going to go right into his hand. Kind of a pointed elbow, which I think is a little too pointed for me, but it's good enough. Torso. I'm going to go up to his head. And getting that rounded form. He has that bump on the side of his head when he turns in profile and stuff. Top of his head. His hair is always messed up. Got very weird hair because I always thought he was balding. When I saw him in the cartoon when I was younger, I was like, why does he have very little hair? And I want that hair to wrap around the head. Think about it like literally hair wrapping around like a round object. That's kind of, I'm imagining it like, you know, wrapping around. That's a big thing. I'm going to go over here to his face. C of his nose. His eyes are closed. So they're just dash marks. And he actually has eyebrows, small eyebrows. Toward the top there. Pulling the rest of his lower part of his face. The blanket that he has. You can even throw some wiggliness. There's a wiggliness throughout most of the Peanut characters. It did give it a lot of character, so you could essentially kind of do that as well. But first thing I'm going to do is draw his other hand. And then his other forearm. And then I'm going to draw the rest of the blanket hanging down. This art style is very kid-friendly, and it's also very, I don't know what it is, there's a very attractiveness to this style, obviously, right, because it's lasted for so long. I still remember when the creator died. I believe he died, I think a week after, or something like that. I don't know, I could Google it, but I'm not going to Google it. Draw his foot. I believe Charles Schulz died about just a month or something after he had shut down the comic, after he ended it, you know. It was like his life's, you know, work to keep them going, you know. Once it stopped, he stopped. Really sad, really sad. You know, he had a really great career though. It's pretty amazing what he did, you know. I really hope that movie's good, the Peanuts movie. It looks good. It seems to capture a lot of the spirit of the old series. It's not like Garfield or anything like that, you know. Or it's just like, ugh. Or like the Chipmunks where they have hoodies on. I'm like, ugh. You know, hopefully this captures the spirit. You know. Hopefully I make it timeless too. Anyways, drawing the rest of the blanket right here. Essentially they're cloud shapes, like I said. Remember, it's on a flat surface though. It's falling upon the ground. And then I draw smaller lines for the smaller rivets in the line, in the blanket. It's supposed to be wiggly, you know, because it's a blanket. Going down, drawing the rest of his pants. Lines on his shirt. And what you could do is draw these dirt marks here for the bottom portion of the foot. And you could also do fill in the black for his pants. Or shorts, I think. I think they're shorts. He's just sitting down, it looks like pants. And you can even draw the side of his ear. Side of his ear is there. Alright. So what you could do right now is let's start coloring it. I have a red here. It is a Rose Art brand. It's actually maroon. So I'm going to put maroon for his shirt. But you could just use red. It looks very red. It doesn't look as dark as most maroons I've used in other brands. so I thought that was interesting. I'm just drawing it flat, very similar to the art style. The art style is very flat. And then I'm taking this plum. It's not blue enough actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look through these colored pencils. I have the other Rose Art brand, and I'm going to look through maybe a different one and try them out. There's, I kind of like that. I kind of like this actually. It's a little bit for some reason, so I'm going to be using this. This is Azure in Rose Art brand. It's not quite as blue, so don't get mad. I'm sorry, Mr. Schultz. And I'm just kind of layering it on. There's been so many cool episodes of this. I would say my favorite of all the Peanuts stories would probably be when they went camping. That was an amazing episode. Like, I think it was a movie. Although I think it was called Race for Your Life with Charlie Brown, actually. That one, I think. I guess there's a few where they were camping, but that one's one race. I think it was called Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. I'm not sure. I love those. I should really watch those again. And then It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, which is a great tradition that everybody watches. Okay, let me also grab, now for the bottom of his shoes, I'm going to grab a light brown. And I'm going to fill in this for the bottom of his shoes. Honestly, I would prefer a darker one, but this is fine. And then I am going to go right here to the soft peach. Soft peach for his skin. I'm going to lay that down. And like I said, all these can be flat. Hopefully everybody's having a good day, and it'll be fun. I'm probably going to do more of the Peanuts characters and finish off at least a lot of the top ones, like probably Lucy and Sally, and probably Woodstock as well. And then, yeah. Anyways, guys, also, I want you guys to check out my Patreon. I'm trying to change it and update it. I've actually given out more rewards now. I think it's very, really cool stuff. And so just check out my Patreon page. I link it at the end of videos, and I want to get that really kind of fired up. I'm very fired up to improve myself and really make things work with that. All right then, that's Linus with his blanket. Got that little blue mark there, which I wish I didn't have, but you could also throw in, like I said, what I do with everything, right? The grass. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate everything you guys have done. Please comment below, share the video, and talk to me. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.